Hello, and welcome to the Woman Sees World podcast. I'm Holly Wetherington. The Woman Sees World podcast is unfiltered conversations with women about their lives, struggles, concerns, inspirations, and dreams, weaving in their traditions, rituals, and individual wisdom. Guests will share answers to a series of interview questions about themselves and their views on various aspects of the human experience. It's part sharing stories in a sacred circle and part meeting a friend for a cup of tea. This podcast is a connection to other women, how they are claiming the legacy, stories, and traditions of women across time, and how they are embodied in themselves right now. For eons, women have carried interpersonal and cultural history in their stories passed down through generations. This podcast serves to capture the words, stories, and wisdom of all women across time through the women of today. This is an open forum for diverse viewpoints and includes all women in all identities and backgrounds. Additionally, I will conduct a short lightning astrology reading for my guests as an added layer of cosmic connection and discussion. Be sure to like and subscribe to my Woman Sees World podcast in all the places, and please share, especially if you're intrigued by what you hear. I'm so glad that you are here with us, and I hope you enjoy the Woman Sees World podcast. All right, I've got about 10 questions for you, so we'll jump in, and I really appreciate you doing this.
Well, thanks for asking me.
So I'm going to hit you with the heavier one, but what is the greatest issue or issues for you right now, concerning the world and humanity? What is really top of mind for you?
What is top of mind with humanity? Ugh.
Let's take a big bite.
Let's see. Honestly, okay. The thing that jumps out at me, and I do my very best not to feed it or to put energy into it, because we're just in a cycle. That's all we're doing. We're in a cycle. Right. And so just how violent we are as humans, just violent. How, this group of people want something that the other person has. So then let's just kill them and let's take it. Let's do it. Or what people do for power, to stay in power. It's just, that's the only thing that really pops out, because everything else is just we're just in a cycle. And then so for me to step out of that cycle, then what am I going to focus my attention and my energy on to move, to create that for myself and for the people around me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the violence, and someone else has recently said that too. So is it just the cognitive dissonance of that? That's where we go with our solutions?
Yeah. With the solutions, oh my gosh, just everything that's been happening over the summer, in the Congo, in the Middle East, everything's just been so heavy, where I'm just man, if people were just nice, everybody could get what they want. And if you don't get what you want, then move on to something else.
Right.
You don't have to kill people for it.
Well, what are, that leads to another question is, what are your thoughts, on the ways that humans can unify better and collaborate better? Obviously being nice is one of them.
I know, just simple, be nice. It's so funny too, that how the Bible's used. I was raised Christian, but I'm not Christian at all. But how the Bible is used in basically everything. But then when you look at the 10 Commandments, which actually comes for the 49 laws of Ma'at from Kemet, right? That's where the 10 Commandments came from. All of the commandments are there, but no one's paying attention. But then we lean on the Bible. This is a Bible country. It's is it? Because you fuckers are out here just taking what you need, being all sly about it. So I don't know. Truly, if people did treat each other with reverence, just reverence, with understanding, with curiosity, with compassion, really wanting to get to know them, then I think things would be so different. But we don't make eye contact here. We hardly say hi here. It's just very disconnect in survival mode. I'm in survival. I got to get mine. I don't have time for anybody else. And so I think if we switch that, then there would be a deeper connection.
And how would you do that? How do you do that?
Well, I opened the studio.
The
So,
connection with people taking classes, that's a great
mhm.
space for like energy.
Right. Well, to that we have dialogue. We have racial justice dialogue for the Black and white communities. We have racial infinity groups. We have so many groups that we've created so we can start to make eye contact. So we start to get to know each other
Mhm.
instead of just flying through our days. So that's
One
one.
person.
Good. Yeah.
One person at a time, and I'll definitely dig into your work more after we do some of these questions. But
Yeah.
that's what you're saying. Like you don't have to try to fix the world.
Nope.
You can start with yourself and your neighbor and the people you see on a daily basis, and then go from there.
Well, it's because everything that's outside of us, like we've created it. And so there's
Hmm.
nothing to fix. Like this is coming from us. So then if you want things to show up a little differently in your world, then yeah, then just show up differently. Like have a communication, like make eye contact, all the things. Hmm.
Yeah, I like that. What is some of your own personal concerns or things you're focused on right now outside of the outside world and the violence? What about just your everyday life? What are some concerns or things that
I
you're
don't
dealing with?
know. I don't really have any concerns. I really like how life just flows. And then I just focus on, okay, this is how I want to feel. And then I get
Mhm.
excited for what the universe sends me. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love how it matches. Things that I am focusing on is expanding the studio, uh,
Cool.
sharing what we do on a bigger scale. This will be our eighth
Nice.
year, so I think we're ready. We're ready to expand, and then we're also focusing on more sensuality. So swinging back around, like when you and I connected, that's what we did at the studio. Is more sensual stuff. So to swing back there and just start.
Sensual stuff. Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, so okay, it's good. You said
Oh yeah,
doing a
yeah.
little sensual stuff.
Yeah, little sensual stuff. Really teaching people how to use that energy to manifest or align with their creations. And so that's what I'm
Cool.
focusing on right now is that. Hmm.
That is awesome. I just realized I don't think the outside noise is too bad, but I'm just gonna put these on to be safe.
No, I can't even hear the outside noise at all.
Okay, cool. I'm sure it won't even end up in the recording, but I'm just gonna be a nerd. I'll
Perfect.
edit this part out, everybody. Okay, let's put you in my ear. There we go.
Okay,
Okay, and we're still recording. Yes. Okay, good.
perfect.
Awesome. Okay. So, what gives you hope? Like, what in your daily life? What brings you hope?
So, like, I don't know. Hope is like something that I like when I hear the word hope, it's that something that you're reaching for, you're uncertain about,
Or
right?
optimism? So,
Yeah. So for me, it's just like knowing, like I know, like when I say I know, it's like the sun rising, just like, yeah, the sun's going to rise, right? I know it's going to be,
yeah.
but the world is so big. Like the world is so big. So even if it may be uncomfortable here, whatever happens with, as the years unfold, right? We have the election coming up, all this
Right.
stuff that's, happening. Like the world is so big. Like one place doesn't have to be it. And so I get really excited. All my kids are grown. My grandbabies are doing great. They have wonderful parents. So I can move. I can move around. And so that gets me really excited. I'm just like, oh my gosh, where
Cool.
would I go? Yeah, that'd be
So
fun.
the possibilities,
Yes, endless
ad-
possibility.
the adventures.
Yeah.
Um, what does self-care mean to you, or like how do you take care of yourself and keep yourself regulated and all the buzzwords, right? But
Yeah.
how do you take care of yourself?
Well, that has just changed over the years. As I'm loving my 50s, I stretching. Oh my gosh, stretching
Oh,
has taken
yeah.
on a whole new concept to me. Where I like, I'm gonna spend like the morning, like 45 minutes of stretching, opening up my
Wow.
spine. And
Smart.
so I can tell when I don't do that. And
Uh,
so that is for me, mobility and stretching is self-care for me right now.
that's
Loving
that's
my kids.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
hips, back, all that. I'm thinking about hips, how tight my hips get.
Yes. Hip, spine, just moving my joints in a different way. Yeah, just
Mm,
paying closer attention to that because, yeah, because
cool.
aging, like our bodies shouldn't fall apart as we get older. That's a disease. And so
Right.
your body's falling apart, then you have a disease, like your cells are telling you something. So
Right.
I'm listening to my body and honoring that. So that's self-care.
I love
And I
that.
got to get my nails done too. So
Yeah, a little bit of, we got to primp a little bit, and
a
feel
little
good
bit.
about what we're looking at.
Yes, exactly.
Do you, I know you said you've grown up around Christianity, different things. Obviously, you're, very open and spiritual. Do you have any, like passed down ancestry type ceremony ritual or anything that you've been doing or even a family tradition that you still love?
Man, that's a great question. So my dad was the second Black man in Fort Collins, and we grew up on a farm. And
Oh,
so we had no TV. We didn't mingle with his family or really my mom's family. She's Latinx and Native American.
okay.
Um, so honestly, the only thing that's been passed down is like my dad was such a go-getter. Like we cut lawns, he had his own business. And so I
Uh-huh.
got that energy on
Oh,
just
nice.
teaching myself and my children to just align with it and just make it
Yeah.
happen, right? Just stay
Like
plugged
work,
into experience. Yes.
work
Yes.
hard and
Work hard. And I feel like bummed that my mom never taught us anything from the Latinx community or the Native
mm,
American. And then same with my dad. They didn't share any rituals or
aw.
anything. We didn't celebrate any holidays growing up either.
So it
So
was a
it's
little more
just,
secular or just
yeah, it was. I mean, we went to church a lot, a lot,
okay.
a lot. So much.
So so you found spirituality on your own? How
Yes.
did you just research or study or just started looking for things?
No, you know what? I was a police officer. I got hired in 2003. So I was a police officer in Fort Collins as the first Black female police officer ever in Fort Collins.
You've probably told me that, but I totes forgot. Like, what? What?
I know. And so there was a lady that worked in records, and we're still good friends, but she asked if I wanted a massage because she's a massage therapist. So I got hired, we connected, and she was running Reiki on me. And so I was just like, what are you doing? Like I could feel it. And so she started telling me about Reiki. And I was just like, and
Mhm.
so I just started dabbling into Reiki, energy work, all of it. And that just took me on a totally different path than what I was raised in. But just growing up and being a teenager, like none of the stuff that we were told like felt real. Like it just didn't make
Yeah,
sense to me. Like it's just like it just seems so extreme. Right? You sin, you go straight to hell and you burn
right.
in the flames of fire. And it's like, eh, I'm not
Ah,
really buying it. So
you were always suspicious of this very simple wrapped up story, right?
this story, I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, so that led me on a path of exploring other realms of what could be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is your like spiritual or ritual practice now? Like I like to say, explain your woo. Like, how do you get your woo on?
Ooh, I'm a teacher of quantum jumping and I quantum jump all the time. So with my
So cool.
businesses, with money, buying the building that my studio's in, like I jumped all of that. Buying the house, sanctuary house that we do retreats at, I jumped it. So just understanding that the quantum holds everything. The minute you think it, the
Mhm.
universe starts to create it. And then you just need to raise your vibration up to match it. And
Oh,
so I just jump reality. So I know what reality I want to be in. I can feel it. And then I just act like I'm already in it. And then I get so excited when things start to like fall, like it just starts to fall into place to create this reality. So that's my woo is I'm
that's
a
cool.
reality jumper.
So, to just clarify that you basically are focusing and on what you want, seeing it, and then actually living as if it's already occurred, and then
Yes.
things just fall into place.
Things always just fall into place because that reality and just understanding too that there's a million different versions of you in different
Mhm.
realities. And then just like, I like to connect with that version of me like to have a conversation and just be like, listen, I'm going to start living your life. So I hope you're comfortable with that. So just,
Yeah, it's time for this thing to happen. So we're just going to make it happen.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. So
I love that. And you teach others how to do that, or you?
Yep. I teach quantum jumping. I do retreats at the Sanctuary House. It's a 3-day intensive quantum jumping retreats. We do some big ones, and then I do one-on-ones, and then I do 10-week partnerships with people, or 12 weeks that want to really like shift their whole reality.
That's awesome. Well, I'll definitely get some more info about that. So which people in your life have had the most profound effect on you, and why, like positive or negative? If you could really think about.
Yeah.
Who's got a big effect on you?
You know what? I always go back to my dad. Like my dad, he was like, it's just a full circle. So he was raised in segregation. He was in the Air Force in Cheyenne. He would drive through Fort Collins, come all the way down to Denver. And then he would go to what was a pool hall that was in my building in the 50s and 60s. So in his late teens and early 20s, he was inside my building playing pool. And then he fell in love with Fort Collins. He bought the farm, and then I was raised out there. And he's just a hard worker. We actually he moved back to Texas. Grew up in the bottoms in Texas. He moved back there. Me and my sisters just went out there to help move him, like pack up his stuff. And just to see him, like he has white hair, and he used to be so massive to me, and he's like getting like smaller, but he's still I know. He impacts me so much on how like he's just so strong. And then to really he blew his trauma into all of us. He was abusive. But to understand like why did that happen, right? And so just learning from him to be like, ooh, I don't want to blow my trauma into others around me. Like that emotion needs to be metabolized. It needs to be shifted, transmuted. And so that was a big thing for me to get from him also. And then my oldest daughter, she's 33. We're Plutos. We butt heads. And so like, I love her so much. And then sometimes it's just like, let's take a break. Man, it's
exhausting. Challenges you, or like like you said, there's an edge sometimes between you.
Just everything. Yeah. Just everything. And we were really connected, really close. She helped me with urban. She's very creative, branding, all the stuff. And so, but it was time for us to like shift out of things. Yeah. And so it's just like, we can be good. Just pausing here.
Have you, speaking of the dad stuff, like it sounds like you've forgiven, or had you move past like not being resentful at dad and parents?
Yeah. So like when I look at my mom and I look at my dad, they were just super religious, and how they raised us was off of that, right? They wanted to protect us. And so when I start to look at that and then to look how they were raised, and then my dad was just around so much, just with segregation, so much violence, like he picked cotton, and they didn't have time to hop on the line, and do therapy. Right. Right.
They're not that generation.
They're in survival mode. So, oh my gosh, yes. And then when I look at that, even him or my parents or really anybody, like we are them. And so I would probably show up the same way too. Like I'd be like blowing my trauma into other people too, because nobody listened to me as a kid. Or no one heard me, no one considered me. So then we take on those behaviors and we blow them into other people. So we've never had a conversation. Me and my mom have had a conversation about how we were raised and the abuse. But me and my dad never have, because I get it. Like I get it. I 100% get it. Yeah.
You don't need the conversation is what you're saying.
I don't need the conversation. I don't need the apology. Like I know he loved us so much that he was just extreme over the top to protect us from what he experienced. Right. And so he was so protected. We couldn't date, no TVs. Like he was, he was there. So I didn't need it.
that's amazing though, because you're basically able to look at his experience and understand why. And
Mm.
understanding why is really the most important part, even more
Yeah.
than the apology. I mean, some people feel like they need it, and it's wonderful if you do get that. If
Yeah.
someone is going, I made some mistakes when you were younger. I'm sorry about that. But
Yeah.
that's a lot harder to come by. And if you wait for that, you might be disappointed your whole life. So it's
Right.
important to do the work yourself and be like, oh, I understand why he did that. And
Yeah.
ultimately, he loved me. So you go
Yeah.
back to the love.
Well, and it's to like for those who are woo woo in woo woo land, it's
Yeah.
before we even come here to this human experience, like we say in this lifetime, I'm going to learn and how to practice A, B, and C. And then the other soul is just like, well, sweet. I have to learn A, B. Like we all made an agreement. And so for us
Yep.
to hold grudges against our parents, like they did this, it's like, yeah, bitch, you knew before you even came here. and now and now you're in human form, like just
Yeah.
resenting your parents. It's like, no, you agreed that you were going to work through this in this lifetime. You don't need
Mhm.
anything from anybody. Like it has to come from you. So
Yeah.
yes.
I
So
love that.
what's
That's
the
that's the
point?
very yeah, that's the spiritual way to look at it. It's the part that, in humans that, and this is why I have these conversations, is that's what's missing, right? That's the part that as human beings we probably we in the ancient times we had much more of a connection with source, with God, with the magic that is being on this planet and all of the divine entities and elementals and all those amazing beings, and we have kind of forgotten. And
Yeah.
it seems like everyone's, you feel the desperation and the angst and the everything and everybody, because they're not able to connect, or they're looking for that type of connection.
Mhm.
But all the words and language around it, like saying the word God, or whatever it is, like people can't sometimes get past the semantics, and yet their hearts are longing for
Mhm.
something. And it doesn't come through being resentful at people or checking off every little thing that someone did to you and going and getting an apology. Like that's a waste of
Right.
time.
It
But
is a waste
it's a place to start. You start to understand people and be like, huh, this is never going to happen.
Right. Well,
But
it
yeah.
even it doesn't matter. And that's where like me and my oldest daughter, this is where we don't agree with, is because I've apologized to her. I had her when I was super young.
Mm,
And so I apologize. Like, oh my gosh, I was trying to get through high school, like all the things, and not excuses, but I apologize.
sure.
So until she is willing to love herself and to apologize for herself, my apologies won't mean anything.
Exactly.
Right. And so it totally depends on where you are in your life. Like, can you accept an apology? Because
Hmm.
15 years ago, if my mom would apologize to me, I wasn't ready for it. Right. I
Hmm.
was still
Yeah.
just like, nope, I'm still focusing on this, and this. Right. And my daughter won't accept my apologies. She says she does, but she really hasn't because she's not ready to. So it doesn't
Sure.
even matter. It's just you healing yourself.
Right.
And you can get that apology, you may not, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I think for to what you said, another woman, and she's a little older, but she has adult children, that some things are coming up,
Hmm.
and she had to realize that, like, I can't apologize your pain away,
Yeah.
and that I'm working on my stuff. It's this thing that it's a mother's instinct to want to care and be like,
Mhm.
let me soothe you, and
Right.
sometimes you can't, because you realize the best soothing is they need to soothe themselves. They have to go through this journey of being mad at me, of whatever it is, so that they
Right.
can come full circle around and be like, oh, okay, here's what I'm
Yeah.
dealing with here. And it has everything to do with me.
I know. And I
Uh,
know my mom and my dad are like so happy. The three of us, me and my sisters, are there because I know they
yeah.
look back and they're just like, "Oof, don't want to have that conversation
Yeah,
like
too much
ever."
time has passed. Well, and to your point, sometimes the apology doesn't land, but I think, when you make the attempt, you never know down the road how that's going to, maybe she'll be able to accept it when it's best for her. And it's like, she did make an attempt. You never know how things are going to
Yeah.
evolve over time when people really look at your actions and your, how you carry yourself, how you've healed yourself translates, even if it takes years. It's
Yep.
like, you look back and go, you know what? She really worked really hard and changed who she was. And,
Yeah.
being a brat or whatever it is.
Yeah. Whatever that story is, it is true because too, just what I teach, I try to show up what I teach, right? So low vibrating frequencies are toxic to the body. I'm
Right.
always focusing on like, I'm not going to age. I'm going to be 35 the rest of my life. And so when you
It's
hold
working
on,
so far.
well, thank you. When you hold on to that resentment, like resentment is cancer. Anything that shows up in your body is a trapped emotion, energy emotion that you have not released. And so, yeah, if you want cancer because of your mom, have at it. If you want, right, if you want an immune imbalance because of your father, have at it. Like 100%, that's your choice. But me, no way. I'm not holding on to anything from those people at all.
Keep yourself purified and clear of all of that negative energy.
All of it. Yes. Yep.
What would you say for you, like what's your biggest epiphany or wisdom that you've learned so far in life? That's another big one. Or even kind of a life lesson that sticks with you.
That you don't have to stick with who you said you were.
That's a big one.
That is so like marriage, whatever, till death do us part. Really? Like, who are you going to be in 2 years? Like, what? No. Right. Or even just like, I don't know, just such concrete how we defined ourselves. This is who I am. And then that just keeps you stuck where you can't shift, you can't open, you can't raise your vibrational frequency. Because once your vibrational frequency goes higher, people fall out of your lives. You move. You don't want to be where you were. Like when I think of the flow of energy and how it moves, or the feminine, right? The feminine's constantly moving. It's just like if we were that more so than we were the masculine and just, I'm going to make this happen and we're going to stay together forever. Whatever the story is, just like, ugh. Like to be pliable when you work in or when you're experiencing your life where we are, right? As humans is everything. Absolutely everything. Yeah.
I love that. That's one way I used to put it was you are not beholden to your 15-year-old self that said you were going to do X, Y, and Z by this age. And if you don't, you're a failure. Like,
failure.
And I mean, that's a little more in your 20s and 30s where you're like, I always said I was going to do this and I haven't yet. And their voices are there, but are you still who you were at X, Y, or Z age? Or are you different now?
Oh my gosh. It's like, I love shape shifting. I just like that person was back then. Like, and that's why I do like the tattoos. I do drastic things or I'm just like, nope, this is the new version of myself. I haven't changed my name yet.
Newer?
This one's newer. Yeah.
You haven't, say that again. I love it.
This one's new. The one on my neck is new.
Oh, that's beautiful. What did you say you cut out right before I asked about your tattoo? You said you like to shapeshift to get tattoos.
Oh, I just do drastic stuff like shape shifting. I like to do big drastic things because then I'm just like, I'm not that person anymore. Because they even talk about it. In order to become what you want, you have to change your identity. Yeah. Like, you can't be the same person. Like you have to change your beliefs about yourself. It has to be completely different. And then that raises your vibrational frequency because you see yourself differently. And so I love that.
Expand on that a little bit because I love where you're going with that. As far as I think that I'm seeing a lot more people understanding that it's important to be malleable, but there's still such a hard, people don't like it when you change, or people get scared to change because they're going to lose their friends. And I'm like, but that's okay. Right? Yeah. It's, what if I'm not friends with so-and-so anymore? What if you're not?
Yeah.
Like, how do you expand on that a little bit about why it's okay for certain people to fall out of your life, fall back in? It's like the adventure of life.
It is. It's because everybody who's showing up in your world right now is an actor and an actress that they're supporting your role. And then once your role is done and you want to do a different role, you have to have new characters. And sometimes those people aren't going to be actors and actors. So then you need a whole new staff to support this over here, right? So
when I was the stage.
Exactly. So Fort Collins, that was my stage, was Fort Collins. My role was a police officer. All my friends around me were actors and actors to support that belief, right? And then when I was done, I needed a new stage. Denver was my stage. Owning a yoga studio was, being an owner was my new role. All the yoga teachers are people around me. And so then when I'm done with that, then I'm just like, where else do I want to be? But it's who else do you want to be? And then you stay open and excited to who the universe is going to send you, where the universe is going to send you, right? And you can't fight against
being okay with, no, what were you saying?
Yeah, just not fighting against it, trusting. So that's the big thing, is trusting. If these people aren't in my life, I trust that they're not supposed to be. If I'm not supposed to live here, I trust that I'm not supposed to live here. So it's just trusting the flow and how you, where the universe is sending you and what that looks like.
I love that. And you are very trusting of that. Is that, do you feel like you learned that, or were you always pretty, just gonna see where things land, or did you used to hold on more tightly when you
I used to hold on tightly to relationships. Situations, not so much, because I like when I'm done doing something, I'm done. Like I was done being a police officer. I'm done. When I'm done doing something else, like I'm done. So the sanctuary house, I was done living in downtown Denver. Like I'm done. And so I'll shift somewhere else. So, but relationships, those are starting to take on that same feel where I'm just like, the connection, it's shifted, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you've sort of said this a little bit, but I love this question. And I know it's a pretty common one, but it's a good one. If you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be? And pick any age. If you could talk to little Allie or teenage Allie.
I would say, oh my gosh, probably because I'm the youngest out of three. We're all 15 months apart, but I'm the baby. Yeah. I'm the baby. I would tell my younger self to keep being vulnerable, like keep being feminine, because man, just because I was the youngest, I took on the masculine. I had to prove myself. So masculine is how I basically ran my entire life. Is masculine. I would just tell them, like, it all paid off. I would tell my younger self, it paid off. Like, you're doing amazing. We're shifting now over into the feminine, which feels kind of weird, but we're here for it. And just to honor the version of her that felt she had to show up in that way. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you told me a little bit, you mentioned your studio. Why don't you tell me now a little bit about, your personal mission and what you're doing with the studio? And then we'll dig into your astrology a little bit. I think I've done the main questions, and this is what I call, and thank you for talking. And this is what I call my little extra. I'm going to put, the snippet at the end, like, here's the main interview, and then here's the fun stuff. But yeah, tell me a little bit more about Urban Sanctuary and how it's grown and what, like, the ultimate mission and goal.
So this will be our 8th year. And I opened it because I got into yoga. I went to India when I was a police officer to study yoga. And then I thought there'd be more Black and brown bodies when I came down to Denver on their mat. I mean, Fort Collins, I understand, because there's none there anyway, so that didn't matter. And so when I didn't see him, I was like, oh, that's
you guys.
Yes. So I didn't ask why. I didn't ask, why are there not Black and brown bodies on their mats? I just said, I'm going to create my own studio. And it's going to be focused on the Black and brown, the BIPOC community, and the queer community. So it's just a safe space where they can go. They can see teachers who look like them. So 98% of all our teachers are BIPOC. We have an amazing, like, everybody comes to Urban from all races, and I just love it. We have racial justice once a month community talks on like how to heal. Like we're here, we're in this neighborhood. So 5 Points is the Black historical district of Denver. So that whole part of 5 Points is segregation. This is where the Black community had to stay. They couldn't go downtown.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like BB King would play at the Russarian right across the street from the studio. Yeah. So
here. So
well,
even so he's like the champion there.
Yeah, I love that. And the building that I'm in, Frederick Douglass's sons owned a mortuary in there in the 1800s. Oh. So I'm in a historical building. So there's so much history.
Yeah.
And to not forget the history, but yet like, how are we going to like start to heal what has been separating us, right? And which is white supremacy. So white supremacy is just basically white is norm. And so then just having a dialogue, and then what action steps can we take to shift that? So that's one of our big things that we do. We go out into communities, we have conversations. We get as much as our teachers out to teach yoga. So people are seeing like, oh, there are Black yoga teachers. That's amazing out in the world. So I love what we do. And we have so many different types of classes. Like we have naked yoga, just anything to heal what has been pushed on us through religion, through society, right? We're not comfortable in our bodies. And this is why. So we offer naked yoga, and it's done in a very intimate circle. So it's not just like, oh, let's take off our clothes and do yoga. That's not how we do it.
I would imagine you keep it gender, well, at least anyway. Or is it not? Is it open to all?
We have just for women. And then we have just men's, and then we have just skins, which is everyone who wants to show up. Everyone.
Just skins. I like that.
Just skins.
Yeah, that'd be something I'd have to ease into, honey.
It's so nice because it's in a half circle. Like no one's behind you. It's lit by candles, so it's kind of dark. So you just kind of get a feel like how you feel, and so people really can't see.
It's about you. It's not about what does that person look like.
Exactly. It's just like, okay, this is how I feel in my body. But we just do, like we do EFT, emotional freedom technique, tapping and flow. So releasing trapped emotions from the body. We do Reiki and yoga. We do intentional cold exposures. So every other week, so people can like move energy out of their body that way. So all of our classes are really focused on like healing. Like we're just not moving our body. We're going a little bit deeper to start to undo the layers that we've created because of patriarchy, because of white supremacy, all the things. Like we need to start chopping those layers down to get them out of our system.
Hold on a second. It's breaking up.
Oh. Can you hear me now?
Come on, internet. It's acting funny.
Is that?
All right. Now it's good. So it stopped when you said patriarchy and went patriarchy. And then it started getting so dismantling the layers of living in the system.
Dismantling, even like colonism, right? Everything that we've like just undoing all of that. So it's basically our classes are undoing. Like we are undoing what we've been holding on to, what society thinks how we all should show up. It's just all undoing. And so that's our studio. Yeah. And I'm excited to keep growing it, to see where it takes me.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped about it.
What would you say has been your biggest win this past year, over the last year or so?
The YTTs, the yoga teacher trainings. I do ours completely different. I don't use Yoga Alliance to certify because I'm like, no, why? That's ridiculous.
I've got my own certification program.
Well, I know. It's like, no. And we're the only ones who teach Kemetic. So that's from Africa, the main yoga before it made its way over to India. So 2,000 years before it made its way to India, there's Kemetic. So we teach
Kemetic. How do you spell that?
Kemetic, Kemetic.
Okay.
But we do, it's basically all mindset. I teach them how to heal, like their stories that they're telling them. The stories creates the emotion creates the vibration, the body holds on to it. We do astrology, we do social justice, we do breath work, we do ice baths, we do all of the things to like really focus on the student, like healing. Like you're not here just to learn poses. You're here to like heal layers of your shit. So you're not blowing it into other people. So that would have to be the big win, is those are getting bigger, like a lot bigger. Mm-hmm.
Do they all teach here, or do they teach? You said you're opening another studio, so you have.
Yeah. I mean, it's for them. It's for them, for themselves. I hire, if we have openings, I'll hire a couple that come from our YTT, but I make that clear, like, because we have 23 students who went through the YTT this last one that's wrapping up. I don't need 23 students or 23 teachers. Right.
Well, that's what I was saying. Okay. Yeah. So this is for them to be able to go on and teach and start their own studios or things like that. Yeah.
Do whatever they want to do with it. Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what our astrology school does. It's like, we teach you, it's all online, but then, you start your own. Do your own practice.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, and I am looking at your chart here, so I'm going to jump into that.
Okay,
but we might as well, since we brought it up, just tell me your thoughts on, it is 2024, and we're about to have an election. Not that we have to get super political, but like, what's your overall like feel for what's happening in our country right now?
This is, so we're in Pluto, right? So that's heavy Pluto, where everything just starts to fall apart. Yep. And so I know that's what we're coming up on. I know things are going to start to shift. So I completely trust, like, nothing's ever random. Like, it's for us to be like, okay, how can I step up into my power to shift things within my own reality?
Yeah.
And as far when we start to talk about looking on the outside of what is happening, it's, the outside, like not voting, not playing favorites, so I don't like the Democrats. I don't like who they have up for election. So I'm going to focus Republican, right? It's not a popularity contest. It's basically democracy. You're voting for democracy.
Right.
Even if you don't like who the Democrats have, wonderful, that person has 4 years, but it's still democracy. If you go the other route, then you're basically saying, I don't want democracy. And this is the same route that Russia went through, where they had one president who got to say on everything. This is the steps that they went down. The exact same. So I'm just like, do you like your own, do you like to have things voted on or whatever?
Or just decided for you.
Or decided for you. Yeah. And so it's not the person. Don't get stuck on the person. Especially if you don't like either one.
Well, and I think that's helpful because things are different in a way that I know everybody says, oh, it's the first time in my lifetime, but it really is. I mean, even for older Americans, maybe that were around in the 60s, this is still a bit unprecedented for them.
Yeah. To
see this level of, just sort of demise and kind of where we are, which is, we were always headed on this road. Our beautiful karma here in America. But I think what's helpful is to hear from people that, whether you, and I'll talk to anyone, your politics don't matter. I like to talk to people, but I think it's important to gauge the temperature of where people are, where they are personally. And since you do talk about racial justice and all these things, I would imagine that you deal with progressives who want even more progression. And if you're not progressive enough, I guess my thought would be, what do you say to them? Because it's like, so you would rather blow up the ship?
Yeah.
Fix all the problems on the ship? Or like, how do you talk to people who demand more and are going to say the Democratic candidate isn't going to do enough? And
but and that's the thing too, right? And that's the thing where they say, well, so-and-so, the president didn't do enough for this. It's like, yeah, okay, that's wonderful. And what have you been doing for yourself? Like it's just a small percentage that anybody outside of you can do for you. Like, how are you stepping into your power? How are you healing yourself? How are you expanding yourself? How are you aligning with the version of you who makes all that money, right? We get so stuck in, what are they doing for me? I'm just like, so it doesn't matter who's president. If you're still not ready to move through your own shit, your own trauma, your own unworthiness, then it doesn't matter. no one's going to be able to save you anyway. And so for people who get lost, it's just like, oh, you're stuck in the dream that someone outside of you is going to fix you. So that's amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing to say is all of this stuff is, I mean, we live in an illusion anyway, but as far as who's in control of what, ultimately it's all right here, the individual person. So I think that's smart to help people go back to like, but what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
How are you holding yourself? How are you making changes in life? How are you helping others or whatever it is that you think other leaders should be doing? How are you emulating that in your own life?
Because, and that's the thing too, is that's why we have infinity groups. So we have infinity groups called the Inner Hue, and the Inner Hue is just for the Black and Brown community. And we can talk about how white supremacy has shifted everything to where we are now. Right. We can talk about it, but then that's great. And then what are you doing? Like, what are you doing for your own healing? What are you doing for your own family? What are you like? Forget about the external. Like you're here for you. So you need to put all that energy, not fighting against something outside of you. Like you're focusing on, okay, this is me. I'm putting all that energy into me and healing my lineage. Because that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing
I love it.
Matters.
Well, and that's important. So I think that's the main thing is as people, that's Hinduism, Buddhism, all of it, but it's Hermeticism, know thyself, as above, so below. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So this last little bit, looking at your chart, I've been doing that while we were talking, and it sounds like you speak astrology. Are you also an astrologer, or do you work with somebody?
No. I mean, I have the pattern on my phone, which I love. And then sometimes my daughter, like she's into astrology. So she'll be like, Mom, this is why this is happening. And make sure that you look at your house to see where this is and how it's going to be affecting you. So no, that's as much as I do.
Well, so just tying some of this stuff in, it's funny, what did you say? Some of your perfection and the perfectionism when you were younger and working hard. So you're a Pisces sun, which and obviously Pisces is, you have several planets in Pisces actually, is the mystic. It's the boundless, no boundaries, and that probably has been a recurring theme in your life of figuring out how to do boundaries. But it's it's the poet, the mystic, the musician, the priestess, because it is that part of it's the unseen world, it's the other side, it's the dream world, right? So I would imagine, especially with where you are, which house the sun is in, that's been a huge part of who you are. You've probably been really hard to pin down for others. Like they don't always know where you stand with things or is that true?
That's so true. Cause I'm constantly shifting. I'm just like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, you are a shapeshifter and you definitely can't just be put into one box. That's for sure. And slippery fish, come on now. You can't grab it with your hand.
No.
You can try. I mean, really talented, like tribal people can do that. But it's a big part of who you are. So my guess is you've always been very attracted to spirituality, that whole looking at religion going, no, I think I have a better idea of what's really going on here than this book.
Yeah.
This sort of authority with spirit.
Right. Yep. Always. Even growing up on the farm, I would collect rocks and plants and I'd make my own potions. Like I love
it.
I know.
That's so cool.
There's stuff out there and it's like, this isn't it.
Well, you are also a Virgo moon and a Virgo rising. So you're technically a double Virgo. So that's interesting because that's opposite Pisces. So there's this, ping-ponging from the purification of Virgo, the perfectionism, but it's also being of service. So Virgo is the sign of service, the servant of humanity. How does that resonate when I say something like that? Like,
100%. Yeah. Because even when I was a police officer, I would create groups for abused women. And so we would have a group and I would teach them about their mindset and how they carry themselves and their words that they speak. So it's always been constant. And then the studio. Yeah. So
of course. I would imagine you've always had immense compassion and empathy for others, but you also would think in solutions, like how can I help
Yes.
this person, but help them help themselves. Like it wasn't,
Yeah.
which is sometimes hard for a Pisces, because Pisces can like go there with you and cry with you and feel your pain.
I think the
Did you?
Virgo definitely separates that because I don't get caught up in people's stories. Even in my one-on-one coaching, like
Mhm.
that's your story. You created it. That's not my story. So
Yeah.
if you want to get out of your story, I can 100% help you get out of your story. Like,
And you, I mean, I'm sure you've seen your chart, but you've got some really cool placements. Obviously, I know I'm not going to speak too much astrology here, but you know, Pluto in the first house, that is the house of self. So there's just a lot of depth and transformative qualities to your chart, which makes sense as to why you can shed your skin or shapeshift. I mean, we've talked about Pluto,
yes.
so the great it's life, death, rebirth, transformation, death, taxes. I already said death. But you know, when something dies, something is born. So, you know, a lot of people are afraid of Pluto, but Pluto is definitely not to be trifled with, but Pluto has to happen, right? Like we have to have transformation. And so when Pluto comes around, or like for your chart, it's a big part of who you are. Like you're, I would think that you've intimidated people, that you've seemed formidable to others. Like, you know, you're obviously extremely approachable. And I'm saying like people can feel this power. There's a, I mean, just real quickly, you've had a lot of issues with power in your life, being a powerful person, possibly intimidating others with your power. Like, is that true?
I mean, people say that I'm intimidating, but then I'm just like, yes. And I feel because I like my own space. I don't
Yeah.
hug everybody. I don't share my story. I don't talk a lot. I do not go out with people. I don't socialize. And so I can see why they think that's because they don't know me. If they don't know me, then I'm intimidating. I don't share. I'm intimidating. And I get it. Like I'm 5'10", I'm black, I have tattoos, my head shaved. Some people look at that like, I mean, it's intimidating. So maybe the outside is intimidating too.
I mean, to me, I think powerful women are intimidating anyway, you know,
Yeah.
and then you've got all the other stuff going on, like the look, you know, but you also, but see, I always look at like, I know you have a mushy center. I can see it, but,
I
but,
do.
but it's because you have it. It's not just for one person. It's for all people. It's about humanity. It's about the human family. And so that actually, everything that you're doing really shows in your chart. You've got, you know, another area of your chart that's all about others and love and helping others and having relationships with people that are profound, that have impact, you know, as opposed to like a surfacey. You know, it's important for you to have an impact, at least in a positive way, for people, even if you're not their everything.
Yes. Nope. I love that because it's I don't show up to fight against what's been created. I love to use my time to like help people like create a different reality. Like if Black and brown people can create their own reality, and if women can create their own reality from patriarchy, like stop wasting so much of your energy fighting over something, because you put more energy into it when you fight against it. That's just how energy works.
Absolutely. 100%.
And so it's just like, no, create your own reality. Yeah.
I love that. Well, of course, and you do it all the time. So it's like, just do this. And that it makes sense that with the quantum jumping and some of the things that I'm seeing in your chart, I'd love to do a reading for you sometime, but it's, it all tracks. But in even the relationship stuff, you have a seventh house sun, just going to say it. And seventh house is the house of relationships, love, romance, but all relationships, but a little bit more on the romance marriage side of things. And so even though it's in Pisces, it's almost in Aries, but it's still Pisces. Pisces is very emotional, and they can be more detached than like a Cancer or a Scorpio, but having a seventh house sun means that throughout your life, the recurring theme of relationships and how you handle them and how you handle yourself in them and the attachment thing, it makes sense that you get attached. Your sun is in the house of love and in the house of, you know, Venus and love and romance. And, you know, so do you fall in love easily, or have you always kind of fallen?
I do fall in love easy. Yeah. It's well, and that's the thing. It's I do, but then after a while, like I get it. I fall in love easy, but I get the detachment. Because then after a while, like I'm good. Like I'm good.
That's okay. I mean, that's the other parts of you. So you feel deeply for people, but you can also like swim away.
Yeah, and sometimes I do. I'm just like, I'm good. Like, it's so funny you bring that up. Like, my husband lives in Park Hill because he didn't want to live in Aurora, so we live in two different houses.
And you're still together.
We're still together, and like tonight we're going out on a date, and so it's like, but we both love it because we're just like, yeah, we don't need to live together. It's exhausting, and we've raised 7 kids together.
You guys have already been through it. Like
we've been through it. Yes.
And you're non-conforming. Like, it's okay if people do want to live together. And, I love living with my husband, but we're also extremely independent. We don't have to be like,
Right. Yeah.
I totally respect like people doing what works for them. And, you're showing how it can be done. Really. It's like, look, you can have this love relationship. You don't have to, there are no rules really. You make your own rules.
Do your own thing. Do your own thing. Show up how you can. Yep.
Well, I love that. I mean, your chart's amazing. So I really appreciate this talk. And there's so much more I could say about your chart, but it's just really cool.
Well, I want to do a reading with you.
Yeah, we're totes like we're doing this. So it's just, and you happen to be going through it. I'm going to end with this, but you happen to be having a transit right now, a cycle that's been going on for probably a year or two or longer. But you could tell me if you've been feeling this. It's super mystical, but there maybe has been some cloudiness or confusion or just things not exactly falling into place like they always do because you're just like, wait, I don't know if I want that. Or
that's everything that I do. I know it and I just land it like everything. I don't question it. I trust that it's going to fall. Over this past year, I don't know what I want to do. I've just been sitting around just like, I don't want to rush, but I'm just like, man, I don't even know if I want to live here. Like nothing sounds good. Nothing is pulling me.
You've got what we call the fog machine, sort of just like imagine you're walking everything. And then all of a sudden this dense fog just comes in.
Yes.
And you're like, wait, I just saw, oh.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you a little language for what's going on. It's it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it has to do with Neptune. It can be confusing because things are unclear. It's hard to concretely put things down. So just go with it. Just like you always do. It'll pass soon in the next, 6-7 months.
Okay.
But it'll finally not be affecting you as much, but it's still, I'll have to look. It could even be a year, but it's one of those transits that is the purpose. You kind of have to surrender, which sucks because I've been going through a similar transit and I'm just like, I don't like this. I don't like I'm okay with it now. But at first I was like, what is going on with me? I don't feel like me. I don't feel like I don't have the same motivations. This thing used to drive me crazy. Now I don't even care anymore.
Yep.
Like that, almost that I don't care kind of come. I don't like saying that. And that's not something I say often because I do care, but I think that's a negative statement to put out in the universe. I don't care. But I feel myself going, pfft.
Yeah, well, it doesn't impact you like it used to impact, right? It's like, that's not impactful to me anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't concern me. I am not concerned with this, but it used to be something that would like just whatever it is. Maybe I used to do this one thing or I had to do a spin class and I did spin class for years. And now I'm like, spin class, whatever.
Exactly. I know. I used to do lots of yoga. I used to go to the gym like every morning at 4, like everything has just neutralized. And I'm just like, I'll stretch. Stretching's good for me right now. And
that makes sense with what's going on. And just for fun, look up Neptune conjunct your sun. That is the transit. Just if you ever want to look that up. You do want to go with it. It makes sense. More slow movements. Mm-hmm. It does slow you down a little bit because it's basically asking you to be more than do, which is difficult.
It is.
People who like to do.
Right.
But ultimately it's serving you, because when you slow down a little bit and just let things be, that's when the epiphanies and the, the other things can open up that you haven't been noticing because you're going all the time,
So fast. So with human design, I'm a manifestor generator time bender. And so,
I'm not surprised.
so I'm constantly going. And so for me to slow down, I'm just like, am I dying? Is this like a slow death?
No, it's a transit that is a doozy. Let me tell you, it's not an easy one, but
Not.
it's because it's dissolving who you are. And you may still come back to the old you, but when you're in it, it's like you're in the car wash right now. You can't, you got all the things, it's turning you around every which way. You're like, well, I guess I'll just let it wash me.
Okay. I love how you explain that, because I feel there's a shift coming, but usually I can step into it, a lot sooner. But this one, like, I know it's coming, so I'm just going to chill until.
Yeah, just let it be, because it needs you to chill so it can reveal itself to you.
Nice. Perfect.
So, yeah. All right. Awesome. That was so great. I'm glad we were able to make this work. And
I know.
I'm going to thank you so much. This was wonderful. I will put all your links. I'm going to stop. So I'm going to hit you with the heavier one, but like, what is the greatest issue or like issues for you right now, like concerning the world and humanity? What is really top of mind for you?
What is top of mind with humanity? Ugh.
Let's take a big bite.
Let's see. Honestly, okay. The thing that jumps out at me, and I do my very best not to feed it or to put energy into it, because we're just in a cycle. That's all we're doing. We're in a cycle. Right. And so just how violent we are as humans, just violent. How, this group of people want something that the other person has. So then let's just kill them and let's take it. Let's do it. Or what people do for power, to stay in power. Like, it's just, that's the only thing that really pops out, because everything else is just like, oh, we're just in a cycle. And then so for me to step out of that cycle, then what am I going to focus my attention and my energy on to move, to create that for myself and for the people around me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the violence, and someone else has recently said that too. So is it just the cognitive dissonance of that? Like that's where we go with our solutions?
Yeah. With the solutions, oh my gosh, just everything that's been happening over the summer, in the Congo, in the Middle East, like everything's just been so heavy, where I'm just like, man, if people were just nice, everybody could get what they want. And if you don't get what you want, then move on to something else.
Right.
Like, you don't have to kill people for it.
Well, like, that leads to another question is, what are your thoughts, on the ways that humans can unify better and collaborate better? Obviously, being nice is one of them.
I know. Just simple, be nice. It's so funny too, that how the Bible's used. I was raised Christian, but I'm not Christian at all. But how the Bible is used in basically everything. But then when you look at the 10 Commandments, which actually comes for the 49 laws of Ma'at from Kemet, right? That's where the 10 Commandments came from. Like all of the commandments are there, but no one's paying attention. But then we lean on the Bible. Like, this is a Bible country. It's like, is it? Because you fuckers are out here just taking what you need, being all sly about it. So I don't know. Truly, if people did treat each other with reverence, like just reverence, with understanding, with curiosity, with compassion, really wanting to get to know them, then I think things would be so different. But we don't make eye contact here. We hardly say hi here. It's just very disconnect in survival mode. I'm in survival. I got to get mine. I don't have time for anybody else. And so I think if we switch that, then there would be a deeper connection.
And how would you do that? How do you do that?
Well, I opened the studio.
The connection